All right, let's talk about something we all know way too well: procrastination. Today, we're diving into this really simple trick to beat it. It's called the bad draft protocol, and it's all about learning how to outsmart your own brain so you can just get started. Seriously, think about it. You've got the project, you've carved out the time, maybe you even have the perfect cup of coffee ready to go. So why is actually starting the thing so incredibly hard? You know that feeling, right? It's that awful, paralyzing sensation of just staring at a blank page or an empty canvas, and your mind just goes blank. You feel totally frozen, like you can't even make that first move. Well, here's the thing. This blank page problem, it's not a sign that you're lazy or undisciplined. It's not a character flaw. It's literally a feature of how our brains are wired. So let's stop blaming ourselves for a minute and actually figure out what's going on. I mean, does any of this sound familiar? You look at the whole project and it feels huge, just overwhelming. You feel this intense pressure for the first sentence, the first line of code, to be absolutely perfect, and you're terrified of getting it wrong. And then, all of a sudden, cleaning out your refrigerator seems like the most urgent and important task in the entire world. So what is actually happening up there that triggers this, completely unhelpful response? Let's get into a little bit of the neuroscience behind it. It turns out we have this ancient alarm system built into our brains. Think of it like a biological security guard that's trying to protect us. And, well, that little security guard is the main culprit here. Okay, so meet your amygdala. It's a really old part of your brain, and its main job is to process fear and spot threats. The only problem? It's not very sophisticated. To your amygdala, the high-stakes pressure of writing a perfect term paper can feel just as threatening as, say, a saber-toothed tiger. And here's the key. When the stakes feel really high, when you're telling yourself this has to be perfect, your amygdala flags it as a serious threat. It hits the panic button and triggers a primal freeze response. That feeling of being stuck, that is the freeze response. It's literally your brain trying to keep you safe from the danger of failure. So, if we can't just turn off the alarm, how do we sneak past it? This is where our hero comes in, the bad draft protocol. It is such a clever little trick to bypass that overzealous security guard in your head. Here's the entire mission, right here in one sentence. You have to consciously, deliberately give yourself permission to do an absolutely spectacularly terrible job on your first try. No judgment, no quality control, just get something down. Anything. Okay, so how do we actually put this into practice? It's a super simple 3-step process you can use for pretty much any task you can think of. Okay, step 1, set a timer for a really short amount of time, like 5, maybe 10 minutes. That low commitment makes it feel less scary. Step 2, state your bad goal out loud. Make it really small and specific, something like, for the next 5 minutes, I am going to write one truly bad paragraph. And then step 3, and this is crucial, start the second that timer begins. Your only goal is to finish that tiny, low-quality task, not to do it well, just to do it. This really sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. We are not looking for a masterpiece right now. We're just looking for movement. The goal is momentum, not perfection. Now, this might sound way too simple to actually be effective, but there's some really solid psychology going on here. Let's take a look at the science that makes this little brain hack so incredibly powerful. So just look at this comparison. Over on the left, you've got this high-stakes goal. I must write the perfect sentence. That immediately triggers the amygdala, which leads to stress, fear, and procrastination. But look at the right. The low-stakes goal of writing one bad paragraph is so non-threatening that it just completely bypasses the amygdala. The feeling totally shifts from fear to something more like curiosity and play, which, guess what, leads directly to action. You're basically recategorizing the task in your brain. You're doing this little mental sleight of hand. The project is no longer this scary predator you have to fight. Instead, it becomes a simple, low-pressure game that you literally cannot lose. And this is where the magic really happens. It creates this amazing positive feedback loop. That tiny little bit of action creates momentum. That momentum gives you a little jolt of confidence. That confidence starts to shut up that nagging inner critic. And then before you even realize it, you've started. The hardest part is already over. So, the real secret here, the big takeaway, is that overcoming procrastination isn't about gritting your teeth and just trying harder. It's about understanding how your brain works and using its own quirks to your advantage. It's not about working harder, it's about tricking smarter. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Think about that one project you've been putting off. You know the one. That book, that business idea, that piece of art. What masterpiece are you preventing yourself from ever even starting, all because you're trying so hard to make that first step perfect? Give the bad draft a try. You might be absolutely amazed at where it takes you.